everything's purpose. Like anything that you've experienced in your life where it brought you pain, it hurted you, you felt miserable, heartache, your spirit was stepped on, know it's working out for your good. Your pain serves purpose in your life. God wants to use that part of your story to help somebody else. You're not experiencing what you're experiencing for no reason. For no reason. Especially if you go outside of the will of God. Because anytime we get into something with anybody, or even like a business deal, it doesn't matter. God always tries to warn us. He always tries to give us signs before we step foot in it, right? Fully. But we tend to want to do things our way, right? We tend to want to go about it our way. So when you make that decision to love that person and stay in that relationship, to invest in a certain business venture without checking with God first or even hearing from him, he's gonna let you go through that. He's gonna let you go through it. And yes, you might have to experience some pain, take a loss, but it always ended up working out for your good. If you look at the situation and ask God, what are you trying to teach me? Like, what is this teaching me, God? What do you want me to gain from this? What do you want me to learn from this? And I tell you, if you just spend some time on whatever that lesson is, and you get the information, you gain the wisdom from it, I promise you, God is going to bring you out of that thing full force. Full force. Don't miss your mark. Don't miss your mark. Don't miss your mark. Whatever you are going through, it's working out for your good. God is taking you through it, so you lean on him through that fight. So you lean on him through it. And that way, when you come out of it, when he brings you out on the other side, you can say, oh yes, that was God. And what you learn from it, he wants you to help somebody else. You have to serve somebody else with that information. Okay? And in that moment, he's building our strength. He's building our character. He's developing us for us to be more like him. More like him. More like him. Because if you wasn't in that relationship and that person didn't love you the way you wanted to be loved, you wouldn't know what it felt like to not to be loved. So now you'll be more intentional with how people show up in your life. You'll be a little more intentional about entering a relationship and making sure that person loves you before you give them your time and give them access to you. You got to embrace the heartbreak. Embrace the financial hardship. Embrace the loss of friendships. Embrace your journey fully. Whatever God is taking you through in this moment, embrace it. Know it is working out for your good. Okay? It's purpose behind it, and you have to figure out what's that purpose. God, what's the reason for this? What's the reason for this? Don't be angry with God. Most of the time we place ourselves in those situations. Most of the time we are the reason we're going through what we're going through. God don't want us to go through that. God don't want us to struggle. But sometimes he has to take us through things so we learn the lesson. Give me a second. I'm back, y'all. I forgot where we was at. Because when I self-reflect and I look back, I was repeating the same mistakes in my whole freaking life, my whole 20s. I kept repeating the same mistakes. I was choosing the same type of people. They were just looking a little different. That's it. And then when God did try to send me somebody that was a good person, I didn't know how to value them. I didn't appreciate them because I wanted toxicity. I remember when I was in relationships, I wanted toxicity. Like I wanted somebody to be crazy and toxic and don't play about me on that level. And it's like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Like, I don't crave toxicity anymore. I don't want nothing pertaining to toxicity. If you like to be toxic, or you going around thinking toxic is cute, that says a lot about you. You need healing, sis. You need healing because you're worth more than toxicity. You're worth more than what this world tries to push out against us, right? You're worth so much more than that. I don't know about you, but I know God didn't place me here to struggle. God didn't place me here to keep going through the same situations over and over again. God didn't place me here to keep going through the same things over again. You think he want that for his child? I'm a child of God. He doesn't want me to keep repeating the same cycles through finances, through friendships, through relationships. Okay, so I gotta go back to the drawing board. I gotta ask myself, why am I showing up for myself in these ways? Like, what is it? God, what is it? The number one rule, the number one thing, is always comes here. However you show up in life is going to reflect what's in here. So we have to take in consideration of the people we are surrounding ourselves with, the people that have access to me, the relationships, the friendships, even business-wise, even at work. How are you showing up? You can learn from everything, and I mean everything, even your children. How are your children showing up in your house? Is a reflection of you. You can learn from everything. And if all of it, if a lot of it is bad, that stems from you. That's work that you have to do. You got to correct yourself. You got to heal. You got to lean on God so he can get up in there. He got to get up in there, working that heart posture, baby. Working that mind. Working that mind. You got to let God get up in there and through there. Daily, I say, God, work in me and through me. I know when my heart is hardened around a situation because I feel it. I feel the wrath. I feel the anger when I'm going through something, right? It can even be with my child. It can be at work. It can be with my family. It could be with anybody. And I say, God, please help me with this. I'm feeling angry right now. I don't want to feel like this. What is this showing me? What do you want me to get from this? Help me focus in on the positive and not the negative, right? Because the negative is going to pull me back, but the positive is going to keep me being more optimistic and moving forward. What is this showing me? I swear you can learn from everybody. Literally, from everybody. It's up to you to get the lesson. But it's a blessing in that lesson for sure. Okay? It's a blessing in that lesson for sure. You just have to make sure you are aware and you pay attention and you include God in your life so he can show you, so he can bring you that wisdom. Wisdom is everything. What's in here can never be took. And a lot of times we don't know. And you don't know what you don't know. But God teaches us through our experiences. God gives us knowledge through our experiences. And sometimes he sends people along your journey to help you too. But the greatest teacher is your experiences, your life lessons. Because I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't experience none of the things I've experienced in my past. Love yourself. Take accountability for your wrongs. For your actions, for how you're showing up in your life. Be aware so you can see areas in your life that you need to change and that you need to grow in. Be aware. Ask God to intercede in your life because you can't do it by yourself. That's why you're going through what you're going through, because you're trying to. Start cleaning up your mess so you can feel better about yourself. Ask God to give you peace, okay? Ask God to show you what love is. God created us out of love, so love is within us. It just got taken away from us depending on the families we were brought up in, depending on the relationships we were in, how this world showed us. It was took from us, but it's there. You just got to get back to it. This is why that inner work matters more than that outer. I don't care how you look no more. Before, I was the aesthetic type of person. I cared about how a person looked before I got with them. Now, that's a bonus. I need to know your character. I need to know your heart posture. I need to know who you're serving. Okay? I need to know what's in your mind. I need to hear conversations from you. I need those type of things for us to even be connected in some type of way. For you to even be on the phone with me, I need to know what's going on in here. Character means everything. And this is why you got to be patient when getting to know people. Be patient when you're going to work. Just be patient throughout your whole life. You have to be patient. Ask God for patience. Because by you being so eagerly, by you trying to move so fast and being so eagerly to make a decision, it can cost you. It can really cost you. And I be having to tell myself to slow down too. Like, you got to move with logic and push out that emotion sometimes. Like, what makes sense? What's the reality of this situation? What is this situation here showing me right now today? You don't go in it how you wanted it to be. You don't reflect on what you want it to be and what it could be and what it should be. You accept the situation for what it is right now today. You don't fall for potential. You don't fuck with people because of how they look and what they say they have. You rock with somebody because of their character and how much they love, value, and respect you. And that goes for everybody. I'm talking about family, friends, relationships, business, whatever it is. Whoever has access to you should love, value, and respect you fully. But the only way a person is going to know how to do that is if you do it for yourself. If you're not doing it for yourself, you can't expect the next man to do it for you, because he's not. I'm telling you that now. You're going to attract people that's going to treat you like shit every time. And the people that do come into your life to try to love you and value you, you're going to push them out. I've been that person before. I've been that person before. I just want somebody to love me. But when God try to send you somebody that genuinely love you, right, and then it's not what you're used to, you don't know how to treat them. Yeah, you need to you need to check in with yourself. You need some healing. You need to figure out what it is about you that's attracted to toxicity or, you know, things of this world. Yeah, you care about how a nigga make you feel in the bed, how much money he got. And I'm not saying money is not don't ever feel like that, but we know men like to use a lot of money to get women because that's how they what's the word I'm looking for? That's how they suppress their insecurities. A lot of men, if they're flashy, they're insecure off top. That's a red flag. If that man got to lead with money, oh, that's a red flag. He's supposed to be leading with his character. A generous man is just gonna provide for you regardless. If he fucks with you, he gonna provide regardless. He don't gotta lead with that because that's his character. So any man that's flashy, that's talking about this and talking about that, it's a no. That ain't the type of man you want to be laying down with. You don't want to just give your body, your time, your energy to know anybody. You don't want to just give your body and your time to know anybody. It's a privilege for somebody to have access to you, queen. Like, you are a gem. I want my girls to know. And I'm so passionate about women loving themselves because I've been that girl that did not love myself. When I self-reflect and I check in and I look back at all the things that I've done in my past, it stemmed from me not loving myself. And no, I wasn't taught. I didn't have a father figure. You know what I'm saying? I allowed this world to tell me who I should be and how I should look. So it cost me a lot of my time making the wrong decisions. Until now, when I started to heal and become better and grow with God, that I'm not taking no mess from nobody, not even myself. That's why it's so important for me to check in with myself to make sure, like, how am I showing up? Like, why this person attracted to me? Like, what's about them that like me? Like, what's going on? Especially if it's a bad person, especially if this person don't have character. Why are they attracted to me, God? I need to know. I need to know what's going on with me that I need to work on. Okay, we got to nip in the bud. Your relationships are reflections. Your friends, the people that you are surrounded by, the content you listen to, the conversations you have are reflections of who you are. I don't want nobody talking about nothing negative around me. I don't care about what nobody got going on. I don't care to